Today we're going to cover how we generated $2.9 million through email marketing for a premium men's accessories brand. So just to give a little bit of background on the brand, this brand is really well known for their high quality leather belts backed by a 100-year warranty. So what sets them apart is that they use full grain American leather instead of genuine leather, so essentially like leather scraps glued together, found in most department stores, right? So they're made entirely in the US. They provide casual belts, dress belts, heavy duty work belts, and other leather goods like wallets and accessories, keychains, stuff like that. They've established themselves as a really like go-to brand for men seeking accessories that improve with age rather than falling apart after a few months, right? So this is definitely an older men's demographic, mainly like later 30s, 35, 40 plus men who care about the quality of the products that they buy, don't want to cheap out. They're willing to buy something more expensive in terms of, yeah, they're willing to pay more to get higher quality products, right? And so during my time working with them, we completely transformed how they use email marketing, turning it from like a basic, sometimes send a newsletter approach to becoming a really powerful revenue channel, right? So a few big wins that we got for them here. We drove $2.9 million in total revenue from email, sent over 34.5 million emails in total. Had an average open rate about 37.8%. 36% of their total revenue came from email during peak seasons. We generated $861,000 during the 30-day holiday shopping period, and also generated $174,000 in a single day during Black Friday. So throughout this study, we're going to cover how we got started, the challenge of how it was working with them, things we had to think about when we were sending out the emails, our approach, and then also looking into more of the overall strategy in terms of driving a lot of these results. Full disclosure, we're going to cover how I got started. So before I founded this Kaizen Blitz, I worked for a number of agencies, working with a lot of their clients, managing a lot of their accounts. And so for one specific agency, I worked for this brand as a senior email marketer and copywriter with a previous agency from 2022 to 2023, right? So this is not from the agency. This is not a direct case study. However, I do have the experience working in this company, and I don't want to steal someone, this is not with the agency, but I did drive these results working with another agency. So just full disclosure there. That also means that I'm not going to have any screenshots of the emails, and I only have limited accessibility in terms of what I can show you numbers wise. But the strategies here are still timeless. We still apply them to a lot of our clients today. And so you can still take these same proven strategies, apply them for your business, and in terms of like strategic planning, storytelling, execution. And so you can see the similar results based on what we're going to cover today. That being said, let's cover the challenge. So when I first started working with the brand, they weren't nearly getting enough from their email marketing efforts. They were sending out a few campaigns, but they weren't doing anything crazy. And although the fact that they had really great products and a compelling story behind them, they were really struggling with, knowing what to send, promotional versus non-promotional content. They had very little educational content explaining why their belts were worth the high price tag. A lot of people saw that high price tag and they saw the warranty there, but they didn't understand why is this belt really, really good, right? Not making enough noise about their biggest selling point, which is the 100-year warranty and premium leather quality. That's a huge thing there. Articulating their unique value proposition against cheaper department store alternatives. So kind of like an us versus them kind of way, and also connecting authentically with their core demographic of men aged 40 to 60 plus, right? So these are some of the main things that we wanted to cover as we were handling. Let's cover the approach. So there were three main things that we kind of covered when it came to handling the account. So number one was just developing a brand voice when it came to the email marketing side of the business, right? So we know that they are a premium American leather goods manufacturer, but throughout all the emails, we wanted to balance some key elements of just highlighting the authority of the craftsmanship and highlighting the superior quality of full grain leather, educational content that differentiated their products from department stores alternatives, focusing on their belts as like lifetime investments rather than something that's like disposable, and having just that one belt that's ready for the job no matter what it is, because it's going to last for such a long time, and it's not going to bend, it's not going to crack, it's not going to break, it's going to stay rugged, and it's going to stay looking good for a long time. And then also a relatable tone that connected with their primarily 40 plus male demographic, So that's one of the key things that we had to focus on as we were sending out the emails. Next was having a strategic campaign cadence. So although we implemented a lot of promotional content, we wanted to make sure that there's a variety of other stuff in terms of, educational and engagement building emails, just to like balance everything out. So number one was educational content that established authority, provided value. Some other example emails were like, what you don't want in a leather belt. So explaining, how other leather belts are inferior and how our belts as superior. How high quality full grain belts are made, 3 things to avoid when buying a leather belt, simple things that people might be intrigued about as they're trying to buy a really good belt and they're trying to invest in something good for them. Next is quality driven messaging, so showing behind the scenes production photos, comparisons between full grain and genuine leather, emphasis on the 100-year warranty. A cool thing about this brand is that they really showcased, they had a lot of showcasing the ruggedness of their belts. That they tried slicing it with a knife. They tried, they tested them out on video and compared them to any other department store belt and showed how good these belts are. So it helped us a lot and giving us a lot of content there and driving the point home of how good the belts were. Next was product focused emails that naturally connected to customers' needs of the range of offerings. So wedding season's coming up. Here are some dress belts for professional environments, casual belts if you need a casual belt for everyday wear during the summer, or if you're working, here are some heavy duty work belts, big and tall options for those underserved by standard retailers. So people who have bigger waists or they need need to be more rugged. We did a lot of product focused emails as well, focusing on certain customer segmentation, demographics, right? Next, engagement building initiatives. So which color do you like best? Like we connected a lot with the customer saying, hey, which color do you like best? Did some customer spotlight features with testimonials and showed the aging process of quality leather over time. So just built up the engagement, built up that connection and loyalty with the audience and included them in the conversation. Culturally relevant copywriting. So something that we just focused on copywriting that resonated with their core demographic of 40 plus men. A good example of this is an Indiana Jones type of email that I'm going to showcase in a bit, but like these emails focusing around craftsmanship and things the way things made the way they used to be, right? Or nostalgic themes are around this target demographic who grew up during the 80s, grew up during the 90s, where everything wasn't made from China, everything wasn't so processed, things were made here. And so it's a very common trend of saying, oh, how can we relate to this audience? They want things the way they used to be. They want things that are made the way they used to be, right? And then lastly is varied offer testing. So we tested tons of offers with this brand. Luckily, they gave us a lot of leeway with testing a lot of things out. So we tested things like percentage discounts, dollar off promotions, free gifts with purchases, tiered spend more, save more incentives, collection specific sales. So collections like sales on the dress belts, the casual belts, the rugged belts, the gun belts, like all this other stuff. This brand helped us a lot. So this is the main service talking point. These are the main points that we focused on when it came to sending out and building out the campaign calendars. So just to give you an idea of the copy and the messaging that we used around the products, one of our most successful single emails took a creative approach by referencing Indiana Jones, something that's instantly recognizable to the brand's core audience of men aged 40 to 60, right? So the subject line was simply, as Indiana Jones once said, and this email sparked a lot of curiosity and nostalgia. It was a 52% open rate, one of the highest they had to an engaged 120-day audience. And it was very similar to their sale emails. I drove 13 grand in revenue just from one email. And so what we did is what we focused on was connecting a popular quote from Indiana Jones from one of the movies to quality and authenticity of the brand's commitment to premium materials and durability. So pretty much saying, hey, here's this Indiana Jones quote. Here's how we connect it to the products of what it means to be more rugged and having a more rugged and durable product, right? So here's the copy for use from the campaign. As Indiana Jones once said, it's not about the age, it's the mileage. Unfortunately, the same can't be said about your wallet, or your friend's wallet, or your son's, or your dad's. You see, most leather wallets are made from genuine leather, which is a really misused term that means fake leather. Genuine leather is made up of scraps of bottom shelf leather that get pressed together similar to how sawdust is used to make paper. But no matter how much paper you make or press together, nothing beats the durability of strong oak wood log. Burn paper and it stays lit for 20 seconds, then fizzles out. Burn a wood log and it'll last you longer than you could imagine. That's because it's dependable, sturdy, and strong. And then we go into selling the walls. So this is a good idea of the copy that we utilized and focused on. A lot of this was also like focusing on, there wasn't tons of different designs here. We mainly focused on copywriting for this brand, and it worked extremely well. And that's kind of like the main thing that we kind of utilize and focus on when it came to writing these emails out. So now let's cover Black Friday holiday season. So for Black Friday holiday season, we generated about $861K from campaign revenue during Black Friday, during a 30-day period between Black Friday and Christmas. And so here's kind of the sequence that we set up here for that time period. So number one was warming up the audience. We kicked things off with like a unique early Black Friday sale. So what we did was from November 1st to November 14th, we released an exclusive one-day deal every day for 2 weeks straight. So instead of waiting for Black Friday or, hey, Black Friday is coming early this week or this month, we did a sense of like daily discovery. So like day one was, hey, get X amount off our everyday belt. Day two, enjoy $15 off our Woodstock belt. Day three, save $18 on our tactical belt. And day by day, customers could come in and see, at 9 a.m. they check their inbox. What is on sale today? What is on promotion? What out of the 14 days, what am I able to possibly get that I've been looking at or eyeing on for a while? And so what we were able to do is drive lots of additional revenue during this early time period when other businesses are kind of ramping up for Black Friday. People are kind of in the spending mood. We could get that market share of that money really early before the entire Black Friday sale. And also we were essentially training them to open our emails right when they arrive too. So, hey, day 3 of 14, here's the sale, here's the promotion, right? And so it got people eagerly checking their inbox every day to see what the next promotion was. After that, we took a little bit like a small, break period, sending emails, and then we were also getting into the Black Friday Cyber Monday sprint. So for the main event, we went all in with 15 emails and 4 SMS messages over just 7 days. So we started off with VIP early access, teasing. So we sent 2 teaser emails beforehand, giving subscribers a chance to opt into our exclusive early access, right? So instead of just doing it right away, you had to opt in for that. Drove lots of engagement, made sure our deliverability was really good, but also made a hyper engaged segment of people that we know they want to see our promotions. Next was also a tier promotion structure. We implemented a buy more, save more strategy. So buy 1 belt, get 20% off. Buy 2 belts, get 25%. Buy 3 belts or more, get 30% off. And so people are more incentivized to buy as much as they can. And then we also focused on segmented messaging. So 15 emails in 6 days can wear down an audience a lot. So what we did was we focused on, in terms of the copywriting, we focused on different audience segments that are relatable to everyone. So for blue collar workers, whether you're on the job site or facing elements, our belts won't break when you need them most. For office professionals, our belts don't just hold your pants up, they tie your entire look together, from weekend sneakers to office ready Oxfords. For gift givers, skip the socks and t-shirts this year and give them something that will last any other gift under the tree. That's kind of like, these are like the main strategies we utilize for the Black Friday Cyber Monday sprint. Next, let's get into Cyber Weekend. After the Black Friday Cyber Monday rush, we wanted to pivot the offer structure, right? We want to keep the momentum going, so we're not going to keep the same structure. Instead of a per belt basis, we switched it to cost. So save 20% on all orders, plus the more you buy, the more you save. Spend $200 and save 25%. Spend $300 and save 30%. And so this is still a similar structure, right? We're still able to maintain urgency, change up the structuring a little bit, but also kind of keep it new, keep it fresh. And if you wanted to buy a different belt that might be in a different price range, it still works out for you, right? And so between December 1st to the 5th, this was 12 emails, 5 SMS messages, and also same thing with the Black Friday Cyber Monday campaigns, all different creative angles on the same offers. Luxurious dress belts, rugged everyday belts, big size belts, we got them all up to at least 30% off, right? And so that's kind of the messaging that we kind of focus on there. Then after that all kind of died down, we still wanted to drive a lot of Q4 revenue. So as Christmas approached, we shifted focus to creating urgency around gifting and shipping deadlines. So gift focused campaigns. Are you looking for the perfect gift? Stuff like that. Shipping deadline. Okay, so let's go to the results. Results are 861K in revenue from email campaigns between November 22nd to December 22nd, and this also does include SMS, right? Revenue impact, we already went over this. $2.9 million in total revenue, 36% of the total brand's revenue, and maintaining a really good average open rate, and also 7 million total email opens, right? What are the key takeaways from all this marketing, all this? What can we take away from working with this brand? Number one, authenticity beats discounting. So we did lots of sales promotions during this time, and also not only that, but like throughout the year, we drove lots of revenue there. But a big foundation of the success was authentic messaging around the brand's quality, the belts, and the warranty, right? These are really, really good belts. And we were able to maximize that and capitalize on that and say, hey, these are going to be way better than any department store belt you can buy. These are American-made products. We have a 100-year warranty. These are really aesthetically and functionally pleasing because they're not going to break, they're not going to wear down on you, etc., right? So we still focus on that messaging, and that still drove lots of sales, as you could see with the Indiana Jones email and all the other promotional emails or non-promotional educational emails that we utilized, right? Number two, cultural references, create connections. So our Indiana Jones email was by the way, one of the most replied emails that the company received as well, because we tapped into this connection that felt authentic. It wasn't gimmicky. It wasn't a trend that was current for that audience demographic that 50 other people were utilizing. It was a very specific targeted email that spoke that customer's language. We referenced Indiana Jones. When has a brand ever referenced Indiana Jones in the last 5 years, right? Because no one's talking that audience. And so we can still utilize the same thing with movies like Braveheart or The Karate Kid, like the original version. Like, or even when it comes to music or TV shows, there's so much you can capitalize on it in there. Like we could do like a simple one is like the A-Team, right? We didn't promote that, right? But because we couldn't connect that to the products, but using that, understanding our audience in that way and connecting that to the products helps a lot, right? So we were able to do a lot of that. Also connecting to nostalgic themes around craftsmanship and the way it's not made the way it used to be, right? And so we could address that frustration, address that pain, and connect to it in a really authentic way and point them towards the products that we are promoting. Number three is a year-round strategy that sets a promotional success. So we didn't just promote throughout Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We worked with them for years. I mean, the agency did. I worked with them for at least a year, and so we were able to send out educational and engaging content between promotions that also kept the list healthy, built trust, and made sure that our promotional emails are much more effective. So that when people, because belts aren't so super immediate, and so when we were able to focus on that, and then hey, it's here, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Memorial Day sales here, people are ready to buy, and that helped a lot. And then lastly, quality positioning protects profit margins. So focusing on the 100-year warranty, focusing on the premium leather quality, we were able to separate ourselves from every other department store out there and any other brand out there that's not offering this stuff, right? It allowed us to run promotions while maintaining the brand's premium positioning, and by emphasizing educational content, cost per use over time rather than an upfront price, comparison between the cheap department store belts to ours, we were able to still position ourselves in these ways that allowed us to still run promotions without impacting customer sentiment or, I guess, integrity, right? So these are the exact strategies we used to drive over 2.5 million in total email revenue for this men's leather goods brand. Now, you could take these same strategies and apply them to your brand today and be perfectly fine with that. I'd be happy for you to figure this out and do this on your own. However, what you might realize is that this takes a lot more work than usual. For this brand, we were sending out over 3 to 4 emails per week, and so even in just that regular campaign cadence can be very tolling, as well as creating the different offers, creating the different connection types for like like the Indiana Jones sequence, connecting with your audience really well. And that takes up a lot of time. So if you want to refine your email marketing calendar and drive meaningful revenue to your bottom line without being too salesy or repetitive and annoying your audience, and you're doing 100K per month or more in revenue, book a free consultation call down below and we'll create a free 30-day email marketing calendar for your business. We have expertise in platforms like Klaviyo, OmniSend, Braze, SendLane. We've worked with over 70 brands and send over 150 million emails and generate more than 20 million in client revenue for brands such as Rest, Dr. Kellyanne, Mito Red Light, Under Luna, NatureMD, and even a lot more. So get your free marketing calendar here. If you want to check out your case studies, you can check our case studies here, check our email design portfolio, and otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter and connect with me on LinkedIn for even more cool content like this. Otherwise, take care.